Sneako is a name that lives on in infamy at this point. Not only has he turned the entire internet against him in only a few short months, but every time he opens his mouth, he seems to be digging himself into a deeper and deeper hole each time. Now, I know I am about a week late to this whole overarching Sneako lore, but the beef is somehow still going on and it's still trending in my Twitter tab, so that means that I'm not entirely too late to the conversation. But if you've been living under a rock for the past week or so, Sneako on moistcritikal recently got into a bit of a kerfuffle, going so far to the point that moistcritikal brought out the big guns. Literally.
You absolute buffoon. What you have there is not clips. These are mags. They're mags, not clips, you absolute fucking dummy. The same way that this is also a mag.
All Uncle Charlie ass blasted this man to oblivion, and to say that Sneako got what he asked for is a bit of an understatement. The man's looking for attention, and that's exactly what he got. However, I'm not here exactly to talk about that situation exclusively. I kind of want to talk about the bigger picture that I don't really see no one talking about at all. Sneako needs help, and this video is in no way to defend any of his actions. It's just to point out that this man is going through something that I think that a lot of people are overlooking. Like, no matter how much you dislike the guy or whatever personal biases you have against him, he's still human at the end of the day with human emotions, and I personally think that he needs a mental detox from the internet for a while. And truth be told, this video is probably not even going to help with that fact because he wants attention, and as long as he's getting attention, he's going to keep this whole charade up. So if the internet collectively just wants him gone or just wants him to shut up, we all just kind of need to ignore him. And I know that he's probably never going to see this video, but Sneako, you gotta stop while you're ahead. This clout chase campaign that you got going on, this whole villain arc, the whole trying to stay relevant thing, it's only going to get worse for you, and you're just going to keep getting crucified all over the internet if you don't stop while you're ahead. You seem to believe that all press is good press, and that cannot be further from the truth. Matter of fact, you walking around on this red pill high horse is only making you look like two things. A, an Andrew Tate cockmuncher, and be a gigantic idiot, and it needs to stop. All this attention he's trying to grab is just making him out to be the internet's jester and just free content for everybody to just keep bashing him. Like I said, I don't want to be another channel that just bashes the guy because it's like the current trend. I genuinely think that he needs help, and even though I'm a certified hater, I am an ethical one, and I know when things go too far and when someone genuinely needs to take a step back, or just like an internet detox because of the situation just getting way too out of hand, and they can prevent these things from going on. Me highlighting some of the stuff that he does and the patterns that I've personally seen, I think that it would do not only him service, but people in his community, because I know a lot of people in his community will ultimately see this video and will probably try to like downvote and hate comment the fuck out of this video, but I think he needs help. This vid will probably go on deaf ears for both him and his community because he believes that therapy doesn't do anything and that the gym can fix anything, and a lot of his fans will just follow everything that he says to a T. I'll fully agree that therapy isn't for everybody, but at this point, especially because you're becoming one of the most hated people on the internet, I don't know, man. If I were you, I would heavily consider that option. And I say this because with pretty much the entire internet dunking on you, it's only a matter of time until it starts to genuinely get at you. No matter how thick your skin is, how much of an alpha male you are, at the end of the day, you are still human with human emotions. Everybody has their breaking point. And from what I can see, Sneako is probably handling it in the worst way possible. He refuses to respond to anyone except for a carefully curated list of people that he believes he can win against. If it's someone he thinks he can beat in a fight, he'll challenge them to boxing. And if it's somebody he thinks he can beat with words, he'll challenge them to a debate. Anyone else? Ignore it. They're just ignore it to all oblivion. Turkey Tom and Brandon Buckingham are two examples of people that have challenged him to a debate and boxing respectively, and he's just flat out ignored. He knows that they are both perfect matchups for him, but there's a non-zero chance of him losing, so he just runs away and ignores the whole situation. And it really just seems that he's running from bigger pieces of clout to bigger pieces of clout and cowering away whenever the fight gets too hard, only to be clowned anyway. And not gonna lie, man, if you're getting clowned regardless, it would look much better on your character if you go down swinging instead of just ducking anybody that wants to deal with you. And speaking of challenging the wrong people, after Charlie embarrassed this man in front of millions, he decided to hop on an Aiden Raw stream over the weekend and just made his entire case worse.
Beautiful view behind me. Was just in Dubai trying to work on
Wait, I thought you were in
Tate.
I thought you were in Bangkok.
Like, I don't know how or why he does this, but he keeps surrounding himself around people that will perpetually egg him on and have done so in the past. So Aiden kept poking at the soft spot with Charlie just to get Sneako riled up in an attempt to get him to try to point out hypocrisies and just make a fool out of himself. Even going so far to try to insinuate that Charlie's the real predator out the two of them.
If you say address the pedophile allegations, Aiden, who looks more like a pedophile? Who would you rather not
bring around your children. That dude with the beard and the fentanyl hair looking like he sleeps under a bridge with me. Who looks like a pedophile? Does anyone, this is why this allegation is kind of stupid. Does anyone actually think I'm a pedophile? Does anyone think that?
And on top of that, they cry wolf about losing numbers and getting deplatformed / canceled.
You never got canceled when you were being gay. When you were sucking dick and boxing dildos, nobody had a problem. As soon as you start doing push-ups, talking about how Tate should be freed, talking about how there's only 2 genders, talking about following God, not being degenerate, now everybody wants to cancel you.
Like, no, people are just choosing to ignore you and not put up with your clout chasing antics anymore, man. And the same thing goes for Aiden Ross. I remember very clearly before the entire Andrew Tate encounter, people still thought you were annoying and weird, but you were not causing any direct problems, so people just left you alone. No one is trying to cancel you. You've just been extremely reckless with your position of power, and people are calling you out on your bullshit, bro. If you were truly being canceled and deplatformed, people will be advocating for Kick to take you off the platform, or for you to get your Twitter removed, your Instagram removed, just get you wiped from the internet. That's not being deplatformed. People just calling you out. And even after all of this, he still tries to ride the Charlie train, leaking his own DMs with him. He's trying so desperately to cook Charlie on not wanting to fight or debate him that he ignored the part that Charlie blatantly said he's using him for merch sales. Only to say the commentators fenced it so they never get canceled and rely on drama for AdSense dollars. Meanwhile, there's tons of commentary channels that have absolute dog shit opinions and get cooked all of the timeline for it. The difference between them and you is that you mostly have bad takes. They do not. And I don't know about you guys, but this entire situation with Sneako just feels like a desperate cry for help. Like, this is a common example of overdosing on the clout pill so much that you need it to survive. Charlie even said on stream that Sneako's IRL friends DM'd him, making fun of him and the situation, and that he reads Reddit comments all day long. Reddit is a wasteland. What are you reading Reddit comments for, bro? If anything, read Twitter comments. It's a fucking wasteland over there.
One of Sneako's friends reached out after the last video to talk shit about him. The guy checks every single Reddit post that's made about him. Every Reddit post. Do you know how fucking sad that is? This guy preaches that anyone that goes on Twitter often is a loser, yet he has 20,000 tweets and he is checking Reddit. He's checking Reddit comments daily.
Now, my viewpoints on Sneako weren't fully understood in this video. I want to double down and set the record straight that I don't dislike him, nor do I like him. I just think that this is a man that needs help, and looking at his content in the past, you can clearly tell he does not fully believe what he's saying now. He's only doing it for clout. With everything I talked about going on and seeing that it's clearly impacting him for the worst, I think that he just needs time away from the internet. And with all the clout of people talking about him, it's giving him some fake sense of achievement on his day-to-day. And I don't know about you guys, but I think that that is utterly unhealthy. Everywhere you look, all down the timeline, he's getting chewed, ratio, cooked up, just hated, just genuinely hated all over the internet. And regardless of how much you think you're a troll, the shit is still going to get to your head. Like I've said countless times during this video, I personally think that he needs a deep internet detox for at least a few months before he gets himself into some really deep shit, which could potentially cause him or somebody else some serious physical or mental turmoil, specifically looking at those gun clips. Like I know that bringing out guns to YouTube beef is like probably the most unserious shit of all time, but it still needs to be factored in. Like, that shit still happened. Like, something isn't going on right up here, buddy. And Charlie only brought out his shit because you brought out yours first. And I know I'm going to be a little bit hypocritical with this video because I personally think that the more videos made about him and the more people talk about him, the more he's going to keep acting up and doing this whole charade. But realistically, if we all want him to just stop talking and just stop doing all this, everybody needs to agree to just stop talking about it. Because at the end of the day, all he wants is attention. He feeds off of this attention. The attention's gone, he's gone. And all that attention that he's generating is all just going straight to this course that he's trying to sell, that he advertises underneath each and every tweet that he launches off. So just stop talking about the guy. Like, that's it. That's all we gotta do. Just stop talking about him. And as soon as all this clout high dries up, he's gonna realize how much he fucked up and just how bad the situation was looking back at it. Like, this whole situation is just a gigantic mess, and truth be told, I'm done talking to the void about it for right now. I've had enough. Me personally, I'd rather go construct some architecture in Construction Simulator. So I think I'm going to go do that until some internet persona decides to do something stupid over the next few days. So with that being said, like the video if you liked it, subscribe because you made this far and you clearly like me, and I'm out of here. Peace, peace.